Joe, in the walk-off victory over Colorado, you guys came back from down 4 runs, got some great work from the bullpen, hit a grand slam in the game. Can you carry that emotion going forward?
Well, I sure hope so. A lot of times you'd like to just play the next day, and maybe have the off day a little bit later. But I think we can. I thought it was an exciting win for us, an important win for us, because you can't start off a long homestand 0-2. And Colorado had our number.
At age 39, Carlos Beltran is already right in the neighborhood of the amount of home runs he hit last year, and he's on pace to set a career high in home runs. Have you seen any reason for a power increase in him at this age?
Not necessarily. I think one thing is he's extremely healthy, and it's probably the healthiest he's been in a couple of years, and we've been able to keep him healthy, and that's the important thing. I think about the first year running in the wall at Tampa and then hurting his elbow later on and coming off surgery last year. He had a regular offseason to really train and got himself in tremendous shape, and I think that's one of the reasons he's playing so well.
Look at what CeCe's done on the whole this season. Through 11 starts, he had the lowest ERA he'd ever had through 11 starts in a season for him in his career. Could you identify a turning point for him?
Well, I think it was late last year. I think it was the last month he had and realized what he had to do to be successful. I think wearing the knee brace was a big thing for him. And the development of his cutter has been huge. It's been a big pitch for him. It's given right-handers a lot of trouble. And those were the guys that he was having trouble with, right-handers, and it's really helped him out.
When you look at Didi Gregorius, he's on pace to have a career-best offensive season, at least statistically. What's allowed him to take the next step in his career?
He got comfortable in understanding that I'm going to play every day. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I'm the guy that's going to play here every day, and I think that's important for young players to know that the manager has confidence, the organization has confidence, and his teammates have confidence. And I think it's allowed Didi to thrive. And I think the other thing is he's played every day. Over in some of the other places, he was platooned, he wasn't sure. There were a couple different shortstops that he was fighting with. And now he understands that I'm going to play every day. And, I picked to give him a day off here once in a while. Maybe in this next 17 days, I'll give him a day off against one of the lefties. Even though he's our highest hitters against lefties, I'll give him a day. But, he's just played great. And I really believe he's an all-star. This is a year that Didi should go to the all-star game, and I hope this continues.
Another thing you like to see from a young player is that he's cut down on his strikeouts this year. Is there anything you can notice in his approach?
Just he's gotten better at his trade. I think, you start to understand who you are as you get to be 25, 26, 27 years old, and Didi has a good understanding what he needs to do to be successful. He works very hard in the cage. He works very hard in the field on his defense, and that's why he's having a good year.
At the beginning of the year, it seemed like every day in the press conference room you were facing questions about Chase Headley. Now he's put together a 40-game stretch where he's hit over 300. You feel like he's backed you up a little bit?
I do. You got to go on guys' track record. And, a month doesn't make a season. 6 weeks doesn't make a season. A week doesn't make a season. And I think sometimes we live in a world of what have you done for me lately? And that's the world. And every game is looked at and dissected, and every at-bat is dissected. And as a manager, you can't do that because you know that you're going to go through hot and cold streaks. And that's what he went through, but it's starting to even out.
Now, Brian McCann's going through a little bit of a low offensively. That happened in 2014 when he first got there. He snapped out of it. I'm wondering if there's a connection that you can have with him as a former catcher to maybe help him through a rough patch.
Well, you talk about that you still got a big responsibility behind home plate. And I really believe on a daily basis there's a lot of days you can save more runs than you can drive in just for what you do for your pitching staff. And he works very hard with them. And you stress that importance. And it's going to change for him just like it did for Chase Headley, just because they're too good of players, and he'll get going.
Now, Masahiro Tanaka has been steady since he's gotten here. What is it about Tanaka other than his ability on the mound, his ability to pitch, that you've noticed about him?
Well, I think he really competes too. I think he understands what he needs to do to be successful, and he developed a sinker that has really helped him. He knows how to use his split effectively. He just knows how to pitch, and he's not going to beat himself.
Now, even though you guys haven't played up to your potential so far this year, you're still right there in the AL East. What are your thoughts on the way things stand in the division right now?
Well, you look at our record and you can say we could be in a lot worse situation. And we have a lot of games in our division. Baltimore hasn't been here. We've only played the Red Sox 6 of the 19 times the teams. Toronto, we've played 9 times. We haven't played very well against them. We got a chance. Everything's in front of us. And if we play up to our potential, we have a great opportunity.
You can see more Yankees on demand and Yankees scoreboard content by clicking here. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right there.